Hello, and welcome once again to Lehto's Law. I'm Steve Lehto, attorney at law in the state of Michigan, where I've been practicing law now for almost 24 years in the fields of consumer protection and lemon law. It's all I do. I also write about this stuff for places like roadandtrack.com and have written a few books. Today we're going to talk about how certified pre-owned does not mean what you think it does. Certified pre-owned doesn't mean what you think it does. And the reason I say this is based on all the phone calls I get in my office. I get phone calls all day long from people who bought used cars and they feel they've been ripped off. And I've mentioned before that as is often one of the big problems. But the other big problem is that people buy certified pre-owned cars and they don't know whether or not that gives them any extra rights. They usually think it does, and they're usually wrong. So certified pre-owned is a recent trend in the automotive industry where a lot of the manufacturers have decided in an attempt to bump the value of their used cars. They have a program called Certified Pre-Owned, or CPO, for those of you who like abbreviations. And a CPO car will often say that it has been inspected by the dealership and has passed some multi-point inspection. And after passing that inspection, it is now certified and is a certified pre-owned car that's been given the seal of approval by that manufacturer. It can now be sold to you at a premium. And along with the sale, you often get an extended service contract or an extended warranty from the manufacturer. So let's suppose you're shopping for a 1 or 2 year old BMW or a couple-year-old Cadillac, and you go into the dealership and they have a certified pre-owned one sitting there. They'll pull out a pamphlet or a brochure and they'll say, well, this car's passed a 175-point inspection, and they'll show you the list of things that were supposedly inspected on it. And after they did that inspection, they then got approval from the manufacturer to sell it as a CPO car. Now, here's the problem. These CPO programs vary wildly from manufacturer to manufacturer. And if you read the fine print, they're basically telling you that the process is a vehicle gets brought in on trade usually. It's a late model car. It might even still have the manufacturer's original warranty in place. But the manufacturer tells the dealer, if you want that car to be a CPO, you just do an inspection of it, confirm you did the inspection, and then we'll certify it CPO and we'll give you an extra warranty you can sell with the car, or we'll extend the original warranty, however you want to look at it that way. And so when they sell you the car, it's a certified pre-owned car, and it comes with this extended service contract or warranty from the manufacturer. That's better than what you would have gotten if you bought a non-certified pre-owned car. Now, what throws everyone off is I get this phone call probably once a week. Somebody says, Steve, I bought a certified pre-owned car. I was driving it home. I stopped to get groceries. I opened up the back door and the door handle broke off. Now, I looked at the CPO checklist, and one of the things they checked was all of the door handles. And they couldn't have checked door handle because all I did was open it and it broke. And I've heard things as innocuous as broken door handles, missing floor mats, to broken trunk locks, to the very severe stuff like a bent frame, okay? Or rust underneath the car, or broken things, mechanically broken things, or electronical systems that don't work. And yes, I said electronical, so I'm trying to be funny. If I've failed, forgive me. But things that don't work on these cars, which should have been found in an inspection. They say, if they missed this stuff, that means they didn't do the inspection. So can't I sue somebody or return the car if the problem is severe enough? And I say, no, you can't. Certified pre-owned programs are just a sales tool, okay? And you have to understand the process, and I mentioned it earlier, but it bears repeating, that the car comes in, the manufacturer asks the dealer to inspect it to see if the car qualifies for the certification, but the inspection is being done for the manufacturer, not for the buyer. It's not being done for you, it's being done for the manufacturer. When the manufacturer is told the vehicle passed the inspection, the manufacturer then greenlights it and says, fine, sell the CPO warranty with it. So when they hand you the document saying that this car's had a 175-point inspection done, that's not a guarantee or a warranty of any sort. And that's what confuses people, because warranties are defined by law and they're explicit promises or affirmations of fact regarding the quality of the goods being sold to you. And if you read the guidelines that come along with any CPO program, they're very clear that they don't make any such statement. And I'll give you an example of one in a minute. But if you're shopping for a used car, and you want to buy a CPO car because you think it's better, you are right. It is probably better than a non-CPO car because it gets that longer extended warranty. Now, you're paying for it, but that's all you're getting, okay? So the extra money you're paying is simply to get that extended warranty. I've spoken to guys who work at car dealerships I've spoken to mechanics. I've spoken to salespeople at dealerships, and they all tell me off the record, they say, Steve, a car can come in, a late model car can come in on trade, and we will have it out on the lot labeled as a CPO car 5 minutes later. He goes, now explain to me how you do a 250-point inspection of that car, which would require putting it up on a rack, for instance, in 5 minutes. It can't be done. He goes, no one does those inspections. He goes, there's some high volume dealers that sell so many cars that the manufacturer just trusts them. And the manufacturer knows they're trusted by, the dealer knows that the manufacturer trusts them. So as a result, they know they can just submit these inspection reports saying they've done the inspections, and the manufacturer says, fine, sell it as a CPO. And as long as they keep selling cars, they're good to go. So these CPO cars, if they have gone through their 175-point inspections, one thing, many of them haven't. Many of them haven't. And I know that some of these CPO inspections also incorporate Carfax reports or similar vehicle history reports. And I have spoken to many people who bought a vehicle that was a CPO car that was supposedly checked for a wreck history or an accident history. And then later on, they found out from somebody, it's usually a mechanic underneath it, when they put it up on a hoist for some other reason, they say, oh, by the way, your car's been in an accident. Frame is bent. There's mismatched things under here. I can see there's things that have been bent and straightened down here. People say, wait, this car was a CPO car. It couldn't have gone through an accident. Well, no, it went through an accident. It just didn't go through a CPO process very well. So when they're doing their 5-minute CPO inspection at some of these dealers, they're certainly not pulling Carfax reports and so on like they're supposed to, or if they are, they're pulling them later and whatever, they don't care, they don't get caught. So the fact that you're buying a CPO car, number one, you shouldn't rely on that inspection to be telling you anything groundbreaking, okay? So if you are going to go out and buy a CPO car and not test drive it and not check everything on it, you kind of deserve what you get. Now, I've told you you should inspect anything you buy, whether it's new or used. You buy a new car, you should inspect it. I've spoken to people before who said, you know, Steve, I bought a brand new car. I test drove one and I liked it, but I decided I liked a different color. So I said, I want that car button green. I want that car button red. So they bring them around a car, they sign papers, and they drive off it. And they go and driving down the road, and now the car's going sideways. And I say, well, you know, why didn't you test drive it? And they said, well, it's brand new. Why should I test drive it? You'd be amazed at what can happen to a vehicle between the factory and you're buying the car. Things can happen to it. Other people drive it. They can get in accidents. They can get smashed, wrecked. People say, Steve, a car dealership's going to take a vehicle that's been damaged and fix it and sell it? Well, yes, they will. In fact, they're allowed to do that. And I've done entire podcasts on that as well. So the fact that a vehicle can get wrecked prior to delivery when it's brand new means that you should inspect a new vehicle, but you should certainly also inspect a used vehicle. And I don't care if it's got a CPO designation. If you honestly believe that every vehicle being sold in America through a CPO program has had the 150 or 250 point inspection done on it thoroughly, carefully, and slowly by a conscientious certified master mechanic who's looking out for your best interests, you are probably in for a lifetime of disappointment, because that's not how it works, okay? So if you're going to buy a CPO car like any other used car, you should get in it, test drive it, bring somebody along with you who knows cars, possibly a mechanic, take it to a mechanic, have it inspected. And I know right now people are saying, wait, Steve, you're telling me that a CPO car should still be inspected by a mechanic? The dealership had it inspected by a mechanic. And again, you're assuming the dealership had it inspected by a mechanic. They might not have. Who knows who does these CPO inspections, okay, if they do them at all. So you should still have it, inspected by a mechanic, just like any other used car. You should test drive like any other used car. And like I said, if you look at the lists of things that are supposedly covered by a CPO inspection, they'll list all kinds of things. Like they check the hinges in the trunks. They check the glove box hinges. They check the rear window switches. They check all. No, they don't check that stuff. And I've spoken to so many people who told me, I bought a CPO car, brought it home, and something painfully obvious didn't work. The defroster doesn't work, or something like that. How could they have missed that? Well, they missed it. So here's the deal. Here's what Mercedes-Benz USA says about their CPO program. I'm picking them at random because I'm just thinking of them as a prestige mark, okay? When you think of an expensive, valuable car in America that you can buy with lots and lots of money, I think of Mercedes-Benz as one such example. And they sell CPO cars, certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. And this is what MB USA says about their cars. When you choose a certified pre-owned CPO Mercedes-Benz, you get much more than an extraordinary automobile. You get industry-leading coverage, which now includes unlimited mileage with all CPO warranties. Period. That's it. Okay, let's break that down. When you choose a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you get much more than an extraordinary automobile. Well, first of all, when they tell you it's an extraordinary automobile, it's not actionable. You can't sue them if the vehicle turns out to be non-extraordinary, because that's subjective. What that means is, who knows, whatever you think it means. So that is not a warranty. You get industry-leading coverage, which is the CPO warranty. So you're actually getting nothing more than an extended service contract or the extended warranty that the manufacturer offered with that vehicle. It's just now that it's unlimited mileage within a certain time frame, which that sounds like a pretty good deal. But again, they're not saying, and we promise you that the 175-point checklist, or whatever it is from Mercedes-Benz, has been performed by a certified master mechanic who confirms that none of these things are defective, and when you buy the vehicle, they are all fully operational. They don't say that. They never say that. And that's what people have got to understand. Wrap your head around this. The certified pre-owned program is not guaranteeing that the things in the checklist will work. All they're telling you is, we told the manufacturer that we did this checklist, and after that they said, okay, you can now sell the extra warranty. So certified pre-owned only means you're getting an extra warranty. It's not even meaning that you can count on that inspection. And like I said, the number of times I've talked to people who are disappointed to discover that the inspection probably never took place because something obvious was missed, and it could have been serious like a previous accident, and it could have been minor like door handles that don't work, okay? So you can't count on the checklist. All you're getting is that extra warranty. So what that boils down to in the end run, this is where the rubber meets the road, is if you bought a CPO car, you just bought a used car. In many states, the Lemon Law doesn't cover used cars. So if you've bought a 2 or 3 year old CPO car in Michigan, you bring it home and it's tragically defective, okay? You bring it in for repairs, they can't fix it, they keep giving it back to you, it's not fixed, you bring it back, you go back and forth, repeated repair attempts. It never becomes a lemon because it can't become a lemon because it was used when you bought it. So you are in the same boat as anybody else who bought a used car with a manufacturer's warranty on it. You can keep going back and keep complaining about the warranty coverage. And by the way, I hope there's not a deductible on that, because if there is, and some warranties do have deductibles, those deductibles can kill you. But getting back to this, so you've got a used car, it's having repeated mechanical failures that are covered by the warranty, but for whatever reason, the manufacturer can't fix it, and so the dealerships can't fix it, and they just keep giving it back to you, and you keep bringing it back, and you have this vehicle that's got this problem. What you've got is a late model car used with a serious defect. Now, there are laws that cover this. It's just not the Lemon Law. It's the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, and it's the other laws invoked by a breached warranty, okay? So what that means is that when you buy a certified pre-owned car anywhere, I would urge you to have it inspected before you buy it. Don't count on their inspection. Their inspection is meaningless. It's not something you can count on. You should have it inspected, and then if you like it along with the price, buy it, because you're getting a decent package with the late model car and the extended warranty. That's great, okay? It's wonderful. Paying extra for it, that's what you're getting, as long as you understand that. But you're not getting any Lemon Law coverage, and you're also not getting any guarantees that the things in that checklist were done correctly. That's the whole point here. And one of the things that we talk about when you're dealing with consumer goods is if you buy a product that doesn't work and it hits certain standards or fails to meet certain standards, depending on how you want to look at it, you can then return the product and say, hey, it didn't work, I want my money back. It's called revocation of acceptance. When you're buying a CPO car from a used car dealer or even a brand new car dealer, I guarantee you that the purchase agreement you buy will tell you that the purchase agreement will state, you're buying this vehicle as is. From us, you're buying it as is. You're buying a certified pre-owned car, and it's coming with the manufacturer's warranty with it. But that's between you and the manufacturer. That's not between you and us. So you're buying, in essence, an as-is vehicle from that seller, okay? Which means that if you have problems with it, you can never return it. to that seller. The best you can ever do is go after the manufacturer for breach of the manufacturer's warranty, which is the CPO warranty you got. But again, it's not going to be because they breached that 573-point checklist. That's meaningless. In fact, that wasn't even the manufacturer. That was the dealership doing that. And you can't sue them because of the purchase agreement. So what you can look at is the manufacturer's warranty and when does that become actionable. But the fact that it's a CPO warranty is meaningless. So when I have a phone call and someone says, Steve, I just bought a used car. It's a certified pre-owned car. Let me explain to you what happened. My first instinct is to say, stop saying CPO because it's legally irrelevant. It makes no difference to the purchase, okay? The fact that you bought a CPO car means you bought a used car. Let's talk about your used car and its manufacturer's warranty because that helps you a little bit. But it doesn't change the nature of the vehicle that you bought, which was used. And you bought it used and you also bought it as is, most likely, from the dealership. So used vehicle from the dealership bought as is. Yeah, congratulations, it was a CPO car. Simply means you got a better warranty than you might have gotten otherwise. But again, that might not be a whole lot. So that is why I tell you that certified pre-owned doesn't mean what you think it does. And at least it doesn't mean what most people think it does. CPO cars, they can be a good deal, but don't think they're new, don't think they've been inspected well, and don't think they give you any extra legal protections, because they don't. So that's why certified pre-owned doesn't mean what you think it does. Questions or comments, shoot them my way, LehtosLaw.com, LEHTOSLAW.com. I'm on Twitter at Steve Lehto, at STEVELEHTO. And this show is on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podbean, Google Play, and YouTube. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.